Ashboro. Ashboro, you're 58 degrees. I like it. I like it. That means seasonality is about to kick in for Origin. Exactly what we need, because just down the road right here, we're pumping out fall goods, and by the tens of thousands, getting ready for this fall. 1 second here. Good morning. I annihilated a deer on the way into town on Saturday with my truck. It's in the shop, so unlikely I'll be able to train this week. Hey brother, yeah, I'm out of town until the 11th of November. Hope you got some good roadkill and filled the freezer. I'll catch up with you when I get back. I haven't been on the mats in freaking months, it feels like. So I'm gonna take you inside the factory today. I want to show you kind of what we've been working on, some of the new products that we've released this fall, and different colors of hopefully our waffle knits. And I do want to see that new heavy hoodie that they did in the timber color. And what else are we working on? All the Moab jackets maybe. But anyways, this is what it looks like in North Carolina. And it's actually 55 degrees right now. And that time is wrong. The clock hasn't changed. My eyes didn't open till 7 a.m. It's actually 8 a.m. because I got in really late. Well, early this morning when you break it down. I haven't had a cappuccino, but I do have a favorite spot that we're gonna go to here. So this plant here, check this out, right there. See that plant? That's our North Carolina facility. It's massive. It's almost 170,000 square feet, and I want to tell that story a little bit about how we ended up with this factory. And this will kind of explain to you not a ruthless mindset, but not taking no for an answer. I think that's the key for anyone trying to do anything. You know, and I always say, be it in life or business, whatever it is, but it's really just a mindset of moving towards the thing that you want in life, moving towards the thing you need in life. This is kind of the pathway to self-actualization, the type of mindset you need to have where there are no barriers. There's only roadblocks, right? There's no borders, I guess you could say. Business and life is open borders. That's the beautiful thing about living in America. And in this situation with this factory, this was not for sale. The old timer Wally, he wouldn't even take a meeting with me. When I first reached out to him, he didn't want to talk to any damn Yankee about anything. Really ornery old guy. And I remember showing up. It was during COVID. We needed more capacity. We're trying to hunt the knowledge. I knew the knowledge for blue jean manufacturing was in North Carolina. We had made thousands of seconds. We couldn't figure out why the legs were twisting. We didn't have any automation. We were doing everything by hand. We were simply looking at like pictures of how jeans were made in a few YouTube videos and trying to put all these pieces together to to figure out how to make jeans. And this was 2000, really 18, 19, really when we did this. Into 20, we shut it down, and then took all of our denim and made face coverings for, I think we made them for Google and a bunch of other companies. And then turned it back on in 2021. But I hunted all over North Carolina trying to find anything that was left. And we discovered this plant. They turned me away, didn't want to talk, didn't want to have a conversation. And I could have taken that as a no. I just want you to know, in negotiation, if it's not an absolute no, then it's a yes. And sometimes, even when it is a no, it really is a no, not right now. And most of the time, that's the case. It's a no, not right now. Everything is going to change hands, right? Like, everything's going to. Homes change hands. I mean, I just sold my home in sold my home in New Hampshire, where we live. That's about to change hands. Vehicles change hands. Land changes hands. And we get older, and businesses change hands too. And for an old timer like him, I think this could be very painful, because it's his legacy. It's what he knows. He was the last survivor of the World Trade Organization, the last one left that kept denim manufacturing online. And even if he was only making, 50 or 100 pairs a week, he was hanging on by a thread of hope and a thread of hope and a lot of stubbornness. The last thing he wanted to do was going to be sell this freaking thing that he built with his hands, regardless of how valuable it was or not at the time, to some damn Yankee. He told me that he was going to kneecap me. And then he also told me if he was my age, he would kick my ass. I wouldn't have a chance. And I don't know if that was physically here. But this is the kind of dude we're talking with, the type of dude that, had to pay off the mafia, in the 70s and 80s when they controlled the textile trades. Every pair of jeans he made for like Calvin Klein, he had to pay like $1 or $2, right? And they would come down from New York City. A guy by the name of Whitey Bulger would come down and take what was there. So it was a really interesting time. And so you have to look at the context in which a human like this was shaped. This dude was shaped by a different time, a fighting mindset, physically fighting. And I won't get it deep into some of the things that he shared with me, but you can only imagine some of the things he did to protect what was his. And so it was a no. It wasn't a no, but maybe later. It wasn't let me come shake your hand, and my first coffee spot is not open. Okay, going to the next one. It wasn't come back at a later time. It wasn't here's my card, call me sometime. It was just to leave my property now, or you're going to pay. And someone's going to find you in a dumpster. To me, no is yes. So if it's not a no, it's a yes, and if it's a no, it could be a yes. If you let time take whatever it needs, and you're not annoying, and so I waited a year. And I went back again. And this is after, all of these freaking rules and regulations around vaccinations, and I wasn't a vaxxer. I have free range blood still. I just wasn't buying into the propaganda at the time. But it changed humanity. The COVID, it really shifted the way we look outside and the way we look inside. Now, all of us, in some way, it either softened us or hardened us, but we all had our own experience. And I knew this gentleman was also older, and I'm sure he had shut the factory down. I don't think he was making face coverings, but I went back and I asked for a meeting, and I told him I was interested in his factory, and I just had to get in front of him, and that was the key for me, was that I want to carry on the legacy that he started in North Carolina. I needed him to hear me say those words, because, one second here, such a strange parking lot. I needed him to hear me say those words, and tell him, and I needed him to hear the story of what we were trying to do. How every landowners, like dream is to sell their land, in North Carolina to what they say is sell their land to a rich Yankee. Like it's a big joke down here. I wanted him to know that I came from nothing, that we started with nothing, that we were resourceful, and that we would protect his legacy, and do right by America, and do right by the product, and truly scale, what he started, and bring and breathe life back into it, and that's what took so long. That's why I had to make so many trips down here to North Carolina. Spent over 20 hours with him, because he finally admitted that he was getting older, and this thing needed to change hands. And so it's just staying relevant, not in an annoying way, but just staying relevant and showing up. When you show up and knock on somebody's door, it's a bit different. If you can find a mutual connection that knows the person, that can vouch for you, and just say, hey, just have a quick meeting with this person, spend 15-20 minutes with them, and show true interest in what they've done and created, and not want to destroy that thing. People, I think people are built to want to help one another. I do. I think there's a communal aspect, and it goes back to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and it goes back to the foundation of self-actualization, which is, love, belonging, community, all that stuff. So you got to find that equal kind of footing, to have these types of conversations. But for me, no isn't no. No is not right now, and so that means no is yes. And there's two factories down here that weren't for sale that we were able to purchase. With that approach that I took with Wally, I also took with another technical outerwear plant. Again, it wasn't for sale. I showed up, introduced myself, and that's how Origin has been built, and that's how this enterprise has been built. Even building in town, Farmington, the buildings weren't for sale that we purchased. I went in and met with landowners when we bought the Jocko Fuel building. I'm not even sure that was for sale at the time. And that's why it's so important to hone your interpersonal skills, and to be able to carry on meaningful conversations with people. Because if you want something, if you can visualize something, you can reach that thing. You truly can. I believe you can see something in your mind, it's possible, or else your mind wouldn't be able to think of the thing that you want, or the thing that you see, or the vision you have. Why would you have been created with that ability to trick yourself, to fool yourself, to lie to yourself? Yeah, there's all that. We can play mental gymnastics. That's a defense mechanism. That's a way we protect ourselves. But when it comes to vision, what you can see, and knowing that everything isn't yours, you may hold it for a length of time. You may be able to call it yours, but it's going to end up being somebody else's, and so that means it's going to exchange hands, and so that means it's never just a solid no. It can't be no, not ever. It can be no, not right now, and that's all. So anyways, I'm not going to take you into the factory today. That'll probably be in tomorrow's vlog, but this factory is awesome. We've dumped tens of millions of dollars into this thing, and there's more to go, more we got to do. But it's probably the nicest denim manufacturing plant in the United States of America at this point, with a full denim wash house. It's just beautiful. So I'm gonna grab my cappuccino. I'm gonna get over there, say hi to the team, and then on tomorrow's vlog I'll show you kind of what we've been working on. All right, peace.